Okay, so now that we have our some of our 3D curves determined and made, we can add some controlled guide curves that will further manipulate our surface. So let's add our first guide curve, and I want to add my first guide curve between these two lines here. So let's go over to sketch, and then let's go 3D sketch, and let's choose a spline. Okay, and then let's put this first curve somewhere about here. Okay, and then we just going to jump over to the front view here, so we can add some. Okay, so on the picture, if we jump over here, we can see that is a fairly straight line all the way around. However, I do want to add a very minimal positive manipulation. So all I'm going to do, just bring it up just a little bit, really very minimal, and then I'm going to press OK on that. Okay, and then I'm going to add the second one somewhere down here. That looks good. And then let's jump to the front view here. Okay, and I'm just going to add some very small positive on this one as well. Okay, how about that? Okay, and then let's add another one up here. And again, this is not the final curves, because we will jump back into it and then further edit it to get the shape that we are looking for. So this is just adding these lines so that later we can manipulate it into the shape that we're looking for. But for now, I'm just going to add some very minor curves to it. So as you can see, this is a bit too much I add there, I know already. Or maybe not, I'll leave it there like that. Okay, and then we're going to add another straight one somewhere back about here. Something like that. Okay, and let's add some very minimal. So I want it to be almost straight. That's good enough. Okay, and let's add another one somewhere here. And then again, it's going to be this one here, some very minimal, something like that, and we will come back and adjust them. Okay, and then I'm going to maybe add one more just back here, something like that. And it was this line here, so let's just pull it up just a tiny bit. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to press OK on that. I'm going to exit this sketch, and then let's go add a boundary surface on this to see where we are. Okay, so let's go to boundary surface, select this line, and then we jump over to our direction guide curve, and then we're going to start by selecting this middle line here. Press OK on that, and then we select this one. Press OK on that, and then we're going to select this one. And come over here in the front, select this line here. So if we see that it's giving us too much curvature in our surface, we can always come back and edit our lines. So I'm going to choose this line here, and might not even choose the last one. Okay, and that's good. And let's just choose the last one as well. Press OK on that. Okay, and then press OK on that. Check that. Okay, and now let's have a look at our surface. Okay, so it's not a bad surface. We can always edit it later, but what I was looking for is to create a straight surface to begin with. Okay, so now let's get rid of these 3D curve. Okay, so the reason why I got rid of the 3D curve is because I'm going to add this curve to that with a boundary surface, and if I want to knit it together, it will knit to the 3D curve, not the actual surface. So make sure that before you add another curve to your surface, that if you have a curve already on that surface, make sure you don't delete that curve, but hide it, so that way your next surface will knit to the next surface. Okay, so let's go in here, and then we're going to add our 3D curves, and then the first curve that I'm going to add is going to be a 3D sketch and a curve. Okay, and the first one I'm going to add is I'm going to add it somewhere about here. Okay, let's jump over to our picture, see where we are. So what I'm going for is to create this a break here, so it will be a break and it goes all the way to the back. So from that surface, as it comes down, it doesn't really bulge out that much. It's kind of straight as well, but we will introduce some curvature to it, and it kind of goes like that straight down, kind of. But let's see what we can do. So let's jump into this view here, and that surface there, and then we're just gonna pull this up about here, something like that. Okay, let's check this handle and maybe pull it down about like that. Okay, so it comes down like that and then falls in to a straight line. So let's add a little bit more curvature to this section here. Okay, so that's that, and I'm going to add the second curvature, second 3D curve, somewhere about here. And then I'm going to pull this point up to about here. Okay, and then we're going to jump into the front view here, and of course this line is going to fall out farther. Okay, so let's pull this up about there, and then we're going to add a little bit more curvature to this, but not too much. Okay, so let's exit this sketch, and then let's add our surface and then see how the front looks. And if we don't like, we will add our curvature to the rears as well. But first let's have how the front looks, and if it is what we are looking for, then we are going to leave these two curvature and carry on the rest of the curvatures and add a front curvature here as well. Okay, so let's go to surfaces and boundary surface, and let's choose this edge and this edge. Let's flip these connectors, flip connectors, okay, and then we go to direction, guide curves, and we're going to choose that curve there. Press OK on that, and then we're going to choose this curve here, and I press OK on that. So once we will add the front curvature as well, this will disappear. So for now we're just going to leave it and come back to it later, just to see how our shape is coming out. Okay, so we do have that break that we are looking for in our surface, right? Okay, so probably going to manipulate a little bit further, and then we add the rest of the curvatures here, but for now I'm going to delete this surface, and then we come back and add some more curvatures. Okay, so we do that in the next tutorial. Bye.